Good morning, everyone. Well, it's this beautiful sun-shining day in Auckland. It's the 17th of July 2022, and first of all, let me take you back to the 5th of June 2019. There was a bomb scare at Whenuapai Airport, or Whenuapai Military Air Base. My friend had finished work and he was heading home. He saw the fire trucks and fire engines. He's an amateur radio enthusiast, works on CBs with other people, so he thought, I'll go and have a look and a nosy. So he pulled up on Brigham Creek Road in Whenuapai, and he was there from just before 6:30 onwards, filming. He was there for a good four and a half hours before he noticed some fire trucks going around to the back side of Whenuapai Air Base, and it's the Gate 7. Now he goes round there, he speaks to one military officer who asks him to move his car and tells him that if he stands over by a power pole, by the rubbish bin, he can film from there, everything will be fine.
Okay, would you like me to park my vehicle over there?
We will have to require you that you move your vehicle out of the way. You were here when we had the fire engines and everything.
Well, I actually parked up after, as they were just pulling in.
Yeah, so you saw the issue that we were having.
Yeah, and that's why I stayed way behind.
Yeah, so we want to look after your safety.
My safety, I've already taken my safety into control. I've stayed well out of the way. That's all I'm saying is, it's just that.
If you're going to hang around, if you can move your vehicle from the spot, because we will use it to line cars up to get into base, okay?
Are you having more cars coming, are you?
I'm preparing just in case. That's what we're here for, just in case.
All right, well, where's a good spot to park my car then? Because I'm going to come back here with my camera, because I want to film this. I want to document this. I'm a private person.
Yep.
And, I'd like to be here to document this. I mean, I don't want the threat of police coming at me when I'm on public land. That's kind of irrelevant and not wrong. I'm just having a conversation.
If you can park somewhere over that side of the road, you see where that rubbish bin is?
Yep.
I think there might be a bit of a drive.
Okay,
you
well...
might be able to park in there. It's off the road.
Okay.
And that's probably the safest spot for your vehicle. I would recommend that you set up your camera from there as well. We don't want you up against the fence, mate, because that becomes a security issue. But also,
I understand that.
We're trying to maintain the security of this.
No, I understand that.
So that would be...
Look, I understand that, okay? I understand that. But being out of your way, I'll make sure I'm out of your way.
Yep, so
I'm not going to...
Where your car will be the best place, which we'll consider out of the way.
Well, yeah, okay. I'll park my car there, and I'll walk back to the lamppost at the very least, okay?
See where the fence is by the lamppost?
Yeah.
You need to stay on that grass.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. That's as far forward though, for the safety of my personnel that's here. Obviously, I don't know you from a bar of soap. So
no, and same here.
Yeah.
I don't know you guys from a bar of soap. And basically, you guys work for us as I'm your taxpayer, and you guys earn your wages from me. So anyway, I'll move my car as requested. Okay.
Before you get moving, do you have any identification on you today?
Well, I don't have to give you that, as I'm a private citizen. Okay. I'm going to move my car happily for you. Okay.
What's your name at least?
I don't
want to keep calling you mate. That's all.
Well, why not?
Professional.
Well, no, that's all right. I don't mind, mate. You can call me whatever you like. I'll move my car so it's out of your way. Okay. I'm happy for that. All right.
Yep. That would be awesome.
Thanks,
mate.
Now, after this was done, shortly afterwards, some 5 odd minutes, along screaming down the road comes a military police vehicle, almost wipes him out, comes in at a fair rate of speed with the splashing lights on, and that is where he had the pleasure of meeting Sergeant Richard Skipper. Now, Sergeant Richard Skipper then proceeded to unlawfully detain, search, arrest, because he put him in, as he puts it, mechanical restraints, let's just say handcuffs. He searched him vigorously. He found 2 work knives, because my friend had been working on a film set in Bethel's Beach, which required a lot of rope work, so he had knives on him. he hadn't got out of his work. He was on his way home from work, so he hadn't had a chance to put anything away, and completely forgot about them because it's just part of his toolkit. So after being threatened to be thrown on the ground and all the rest of it, after he's in handcuffs, he's then illegally searched, and then he finds these 2 knives and seizes them off him. I'm going to show you the footage.
Mate, what are you doing?
I've just been told that I'm okay to be here.
Yeah, alright.
Alright.
Did they just ask you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. They're probably just wondering what you're doing, that's all.
Well, you know, I'm a public land, private citizen. You know, I'm out of your way. You know, I understand your
Oh, no, thank you for moving.
your need to, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fine.
Ours away, so that's great.
Exactly. So, you know. Fuck, he came in quick.
How you going, sir?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, military police. How's things?
Fine, thank you.
Can I see your press pass, please, sir?
Pardon?
Can I see your press pass?
I don't need a press pass. I'm a private citizen.
Yeah, no, but are you media?
No, I'm a private citizen.
So you're not media, you're not press. Can I ask you what you're doing here then, sir?
I'm wondering why there's so many fire engines and police around. It's quite interesting that there's so many.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you been taking with your photo, sir? What have you been taking with your camera?
I've just been taking whatever my eyes can see.
Okay. Anybody in uniform?
I don't know.
So you
Maybe.
don't know if you've been, because I mean, that belongs to New Zealand Defence Force. You understand that, don't you, sir? So you can't publish that or use any of that.
Who said I was going to publish it?
I was informed that you were press, sir. That's what I've come to
No
check
one
out.
said. No one asked me if I was anything. You are the first person to ask me that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're not press. You're just a.
I'm a private citizen.
Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do, what I am going to ask you to do, sir, is I'm going to ask you to move on away from here, because we have a situation going on here.
No, I realise that. That's why I'm documenting
Have you got
it.
some identification on you?
Do I have to give you that?
I'm asking you if you've got any identification, yeah. So, Defence Regs, Part 92, Part 3, 1990 states that anyone entering, about to enter, leaving or about to leave, okay, a defence area, has to provide information.
I haven't entered, I haven't left, I haven't
But
gone in.
You're in the
I
vicinity, but you're in the vicinity, and we're dealing with a situation right now, and you're here, it's dark, you've got no fluoro on, I don't know who you are.
Well,
I'm allowed to
I
inquire.
was just informed that here was a good space to be under a light, on the grass.
Okay.
I parked my car as instructed.
Can I have some identification? Can I have some
hang on,
identification,
just-
sir? Got some
Can I
identification?
just finish what I'm saying, please?
Yep, go on then.
I was instructed to park my car off there because you guys are parking vehicles there, which is rightly so.
Yeah.
And the person who told me that there is a good spot, and I asked, well, can I come here and at least just do the rest of my filming for my own purposes? And he said yes, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So can I have some identification to find out who you are, sir?
Well, why do you need to know that? I
Say
mean,
again? Because
I'm not, I
about to
haven't
enter in-
entered.
I
I
don't,
haven't left.
that's down to my discretion, not yours. Alright, so to be honest, mate, if you want to play the legislation game,
Well, I'm not trying to play anything.
no,
I'm just asking you a question.
I'm asking you for some identification. That's all I'm asking you for. About to enter, entering, leaving, or about to leave. You're here. This is a checkpoint. Okay.
Don't get
where we've
upset
got
with me, I'm
vehicles
just
coming
asking
in,
you a question.
and I'm asking you for ID, and you're not giving it to me.
No, it's not. I didn't say I wouldn't give it to you.
So can I have some ID, please?
I'm asking you why
Because I want to know who you are.
How does that make it? I'm on private. I'm on
Turn
public
around.
land.
Turn around for me, being detained for the purposes of identification. Do you understand? Don't resist, sir.
I'm not resisting.
Don't resist.
I'm not resisting.
Can I hold on to that for you? Otherwise,
No,
chocolate will-
no. I'll Put it in my pocket.
Put your hands behind your back now.
I'm not
Put
putting
your
my
hands
hand.
behind your back.
Why am I being arrested? I will leave if you wish me to. My license is. You reach into this top pocket.
Stop resisting.
No,
Stop
I'm
resisting.
Okay, so
I'm gonna put it down,
if
you
you reach
understand?
into this top pocket here, there is my wallet, and you can pull my wallet out.
Right, listen to me.
Yes.
You've been detained for the purposes of identification. You've been detained for the purposes of identification. Do you understand?
I didn't need to stop that.
Okay? That's what you've been detained for, so you have some rights. You understand that?
Understood.
Right, you have some rights.
Okay.
You have the right to refrain from making a statement and to remain silent. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay? You understand that?
Understood.
Yeah? You have the right to consult uninstructed law without delaying in private before deciding to questions.
May I make that phone call then, please?
Okay, you can do as soon as practicable. Anything you say will be recorded and may be given in evidence. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Right, cool. We're going to get some details down now. We're going to call the civilian police.
Okay.
And we're going to get them to remove you.
Well, I just told you what my license is.
So we've had a situation in the camp, sir, okay, involving people that aren't supposed to be on there.
I have heard that.
Right.
I haven't.
And I've asked you for identification, and I've told you why, and you still won't provide it. I don't know who you are, what your business is here, and the time now is
May I speak?
1100. I'm talking, you're listening at the moment. I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk. I've come over to you and I've asked you several times for identification and what you're doing here. And all you've said, I'm a private citizen. I'm allowed to be here. This is an emergency right now and I needed some identification. And you weren't going to provide it.
Okay.
So therefore you're being detained until I find out who you are, sir. Are you okay with that? Are you going to tell me who you are?
My name's Russell.
Right, well, we're going to get the city police up here and they can get it and we'll find out who you are.
My name's Russell.
Cool.
My license plate. My license is.
Something.
It is in my top pocket.
Tops away. Tops away, thank you.
If you reach into this top pocket,
I'm going to search you in a minute, alright? Because I'm allowed to search you as well. Alright? Under section 32, I can stop, detain and search any person on for the purposes of maintenance and security under Defence Regs Part 3 1990. Alright? Happy days.
May I speak though?
Yep, in a minute, once I just write some notes and then we'll have a bit of a chat, eh?
Sorry, my cigarette butt fell down here.
That's right, we'll worry about that later.
Well, it seems very serious. I mean, got me in handcuffs.
I don't know who you are. You're not telling me what you're doing here. You're not giving me any identification. We've had an incident in the camp involving a male. Okay, a suspicious male. We've located him. I don't know anything about you. You won't give me your ID. So now I need to make it safe. Understand? Real simple, mate. If you just give me your ID and the reason for why you were here, this probably wouldn't have been a problem. You're not going to provide it. I'm a citizen. What are you filming for, sir? I'm a citizen. You've got any ID? What do you want the ID for? I don't know who you are, so therefore you're being detained, you're going to be searched. If I get anything else, you'll be trespassed. Okay? So, you cooperate with me, I'll cooperate with you. Happy days. All good?
I thought I was alright. I moved my car over to a safe spot and I came here and just carried on filming as I said I was going to be doing. I understand that there's a situation here, that's why I stayed well out of the way. I wasn't in your guys' way, was I?
I know you were at some point, so...
But you did ask me to leave and I had a quick conversation.
Well, we had to get you out of the way, but...
Yeah, that's right, I did move. My vehicle was stationary, so I had to move it anyway. And I'm sorry if it was in the way then. I wouldn't have known otherwise.
So as you can see, this area gets very congested.
Yeah, no,
quickly.
I've never ever seen it like this before, ever.
Exactly, and that's why we're staying on top of it. We're just trying to make it run as smoothly as possible without any incidents.
Because I bring my daughter around here to watch the non-home mates. Why? She loves it. So do I.
How's Josh doing? Did you say you bring your daughter around here
Yeah.
often?
not very often. I come to watch the Cessnas take off and do the aerial, whatever you want to call it, training, I guess. And we were here one day when the Sea Sprite was doing some pretty amazing acrobats. It was pretty awesome. May I ask what happened in there?
Nope. Sure you'll see it on the news.
That's right.
If I knew who you were, don't know who you are. Most normal people at this time are in bed, and you are hanging around this gate. So I don't know.
I was actually on the other side.
Where?
On the other side, on I don't know what the street is called. Where the BP is.
On the other side of base.
Yeah. I decided to just come around here and have a look, and yeah. And then all the fire engines were here. I was like, oh shit. I'm sorry if I caused you alarm. That was not my intention. Oh shit. That vehicle's got loose on that trailer.
Did you try to enter on the other side of base?
I didn't try to enter onto base at all.
Yeah, right. You're just driving around.
Just driving around. I wasn't trying to enter base at all.
Yeah, right.
That's what I said before. I don't want to get in your way. I realise that there's something going on. I want to stay out of the way, but I'd like to,
We just come down the street and see the fire truck.
Well, because my daughter and I come down the street.
Yeah.
Because it's quite a good vantage point to see the planes coming and going on this strip.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. We'll probably get a cop down there anyway, just to do everyone's gone. So I'll search him anyway and get this, he wants to give me, I've got some identification on him. Who's that one? That top? I've got a culture on the front. Yeah. So I'm just going to, give him a bit of information on the searching now. I've got to find his work with ID, photo ID and all that. Yeah. And then I'll probably get, we'll get one of the cops on there.
I'm happy to give you ID. I've never said that was an issue.
Are you from the area? No?
I grew up in Houston. I was actually on my way home. And then I saw the fire trucks. That's why I stopped there, out of the way.
Do you currently live out Henderson Ways at the moment, or? Yeah. So you have to just understand that, obviously, with what's happening.
Look,
You can't take chances, and you do, so that's
I do
great.
understand.
Yep.
It just escalated so quickly just now.
Right, like I said, sir, I'm Sergeant Skip of the New Zealand Defence Force Military Police. Like I said before, you've been detained for the purposes of identification and search. Under Section 32 of Defence Regs Part 3 1990, I'm allowed to stop, detain and search any person or vehicle for the purpose of a security check. Okay, Section 33 states that everyone must require and supply information. Okay, so that's why you've been searched. Before I commence the search, is there anything that's going to pick me, poke me, stab me, any contraband that you need to tell me about before we begin?
I have my hunting knife, my survival knife, underneath my pants.
Underneath your pants?
Yeah.
Any reason why you're carrying a knife on you?
Because I've been out in battles all day on a film set, and I needed a knife on the work, and I put the equipment.
Okay. So where's your knife?
Feel it there.
I
can't get it through the top of my pants, that's so tight. My wallet is on the top here. If you'd like me to explain, I can tell you how to take it out so you don't stab me at the same time, please.
I'm not going to stab you.
It's got Velcro.
Has it?
Yeah.
Have you got pants underneath these pants?
Yeah. Like I said, I've been out in battles.
Oh yeah, I see.
There's my survival knife, and I use it when I'm going camping and
Yeah.
I'm working in the forest.
So what are you doing with it here tonight?
And like I said, I came from on my way home and I saw the fire truck. It's still on me, so
Can you go into my
I completely
vehicle?
forgot it was on me.
Can you go into the vehicle, mate, and grab my camera, please? In the centre console, mate.
Can I explain to you?
Explain to me what?
Well,
Why you're carrying an offensive weapon in a public place?
well, no, it's a tool. It's a tool.
That's not a tool.
I use it at work all the time. I also have a Tajima in my back left pocket.
A what?
A Tajima.
What's that?
Back left pocket. That is also for work. Back left pocket.
Very good.
Right here.
Blade, got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 4.5 inch.
4.5 inches fixed blade,
Something.
not including the handle.
Where's your legs from? Water. Water. Water.
Yeah, there's the handle.
My wallet's in that pocket there. That was my ID.
Can you update the document? No, I was waiting for a call back.
My ID will fall out if you're not
Just
careful.
turn around.
I'm
towards me.
Okay, sorry.
Alright, just do as you're told.
Okay.
Face the other way. I've just found a knife on you.
Okay.
You want to start doing as you're told.
Alright. It's just letting you know that the thing will fall out if you're not careful. I'm not going anywhere, dude.
We just found a knife on you, mate. So
I realise that.
What's in this?
My keys.
Keys?
Was my license correct? Delta Charlie 427616. Yep, there's my Tajima.
Again, you're going down, do you understand?
Sorry,
Why have you got this on you?
look, again, it's for work.
2 knives.
Stuff for work. I've used both of them today. That's my CB radio call book.
You're sorry?
My CB radio call book.
Spread your legs for me.
Take my boots off.
In a minute. What's this?
That's what. What's that?
Oh, so you've been recording us too.
Now, after he seizes him, he then detains him till close to midnight, and I got a phone call from my friend just after he was released by the civilian police.
Hey, bro. How are you? Hey, so I was just let out of handcuffs.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What they hook you out for?
Because apparently I was in the way, and the MP or military police guy got really pissy with me because I just said I'm on public land, I'm a private citizen.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask him, why should I give him my ID when, you know, I'm on public land?
What offence have you created?
Yeah, so I was placed into handcuffs, and then he searched me, and of course I still had my tools on me, my rather large survival knife and my Kojima. So I'm picking them up from the Henderson police station tomorrow morning.
Oh, they were back to you.
No, I asked for them, and they said no. So yeah, they basically just took a whole shitload of details down, and
Yeah, then you got to go back tomorrow and produce your details again so you can get your shit back.
yeah.
What fucking
yeah.
jackboots, mate. Absolute fucking jackboots.
So I filmed the majority of it coming up to the guy getting me and asking me a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And then I slipped my phone into my pocket, and it was still recording up until the point when he pulled it out. So before that point, you've got him audio finding the knife.
Oh, really?
So
Do you want to give me the footage? I'll post it up.
well, he's like, well, you know, have you been filming anyone on base? It's like, well,
You're not on the base.
maybe. I'm not on base, and it's just like he was an Englishman, and he didn't want to fucking know about it.
No,
He's a tall fella.
ignorant
And
fuckers.
basically spouted off a whole bunch of shit that I didn't fucking know, and yeah, that's yeah. So at this point, I was detained, and I now know what it feels like to be detained with a rather large knife on you.
What did they say about the knife? So there's no charges. You've just been released.
Because they asked me, is there anything sharp that's going to stab me? I was like, well, no, but I got my survival knife on me, and then in my rear left pocket, I've got my Kojima. And, yeah. So, thankfully, he didn't find all the pins around my jacket. So yeah, they fucking searched me, and he rubbed me all over the place. It was fucking quite
a good feel, did he?
Wow, I wet myself. Let's put it that way.
Fucking hell.
Not much, but yep.
What a wanker.
Yeah. So basically, because there was some prick that drove into the fucking base, you know, even anyone outside the base is fucking fair game. It seems like.
No, if you're on a public road and I've got no reason to stop you.
Well, that's what I said to him, and I just said, well, why should I show you my ID? I was at that point not even in a vehicle.
Yeah, it's the refusal of doing it. If you turn around and said something like, I'd be happy to produce your identification if you showed me where I'm obliged.
Well, I kind of did, but not in so many words. I just said, look, you know, I don't understand why I have to show you my ID. I'm on public land.
Yeah.
Private citizen on public land. And he's like, a private citizen with a big knife, you know.
Well, they could have hemmed you up for the knife. That anything longer than 2 inches, they can have you up for an offensive weapon.
Well, apparently he trespassed me from the place. It's like, well, and then he asked me from Vanilla. And it's like, well,
what?
Okay,
You
and
can't
then
be trespassed from Vanilla.
I know. He then asked. He said to me, he was trying to guise me or trick me into fucking saying some shit. And he's like, so which entrance are you coming in and out of? I was like,
he's on a fishing expedition.
I didn't come in or out of the space. I'm not that type of person. All I want to do is film what's going on? There's a shitload of fire trucks and police. Wouldn't you be scared?
What was the deal with it?
Some guy apparently got rammed by a fire truck into one of the hangars, and he then said that he had a bomb on him, and so they had the bomb squad and the police. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not a good look that I had my knives on me, but it's like, fuck, they were on me since work. I mean, I drove straight from work because of all the fire trucks.
They're your work
For
tools.
fuck's sake.
Yeah, they're your work tools.
That's right. I used both of them today.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's fine. You've got a reasonable excuse to be carrying them, so that's fine.
what I thought, but as soon as he said I'm going to put me into the handcuffs, I was like, well, fuck, I better comply. But obviously,
That's just a bully tactic, mate.
Yeah. So anyway,
So he got your details and everything. Did you end up giving them to him, or
yeah,
did
I
you just get them out of your wallet?
Yeah, he got them out of my wallet too.
Yeah. Yeah. These are all the tricks you learn as you go. Leave your wallet in the car and get away from your car so they don't know you're there.
Well, see, I parked in a spot where I thought was out of the way, and I was having a chat with a couple of the MPs that were there already at the site.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, if you're going to stay here, just park over there. There's a driveway over there that's not you. You can park there. And I said, well, and set up your camera there. And I was like, well, I'd like to be a little bit closer so I could, film it. And they kept asking me, am I the press? Where's the press badge? And it's like, I'm a private.
You don't need a press badge.
I don't
Section 14 of your Bill of Rights.
Yeah, and so basically I was just given the rigmarole, and yeah.
Oh, I wish I could have been there for that one.
Well.
Wow. Fuck. I'm shocked. So they hemmed you up for what, 2 hours?
What was it, 10:30, 10:45? Yeah, 10:45.
For an hour.
11 hour and 10 minutes. Yeah.
See, they can only detain you for 15 minutes for the purposes of identification.
Well, I guess because I had a fucking knife on me.
Yeah. That's where they could have hemmed you up seriously with carrying an offensive weapon. So I guess you're lucky in that regard. But you live and learn.
It's for work. It's,
as long as an offensive weapon such as a screwdriver can be within your reach, then that's what they'll go for.
It took them fucking ages to get it out from between my pants because I was wearing my shorts and then my knife was on those, and then I wore a really tight pair of pants over the top. And so he was reaching through my pants trying to tug this thing out. I said, if you just stop, I'll explain to you how to get it out. And he was just determined to pull it off my leg. He couldn't. So, with that in mind, it's like, well, that's fucking good, because if someone was to try and take my knife off me, they wouldn't be able to.
No, they're fucked.
They're fucked, exactly. So it's not an offensive weapon because it takes fucking 10 seconds to get it out. You have to un-Velcro fucking whole bunch of shit. So,
Yeah, see, the only way you can be a member of the press is if you're actually part of the Broadcasting Standards Authority. If you're a member, then you're a media person. But that just means you're governed by more rules. But unless it's night time and you're recording a private dwelling house or someone's private home, you can't do that. But you could certainly film the fucking Whenuapai airbase at any stage from a public area.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, you and I are going to have to go out and have some havoc.
Well, he's apparently trespassed me, so yes, I would like to go out again.
Have you got something formally in writing?
No, he said they're going to be delivering it.
Oh, yeah. So what are they going to trespass you from?
Yeah, exactly. From the
you
public road.
You were standing on a sidewalk. You never entered their premises for them to give you a trespass warning.
I just didn't even want to question that at that point, mate. I just was like, fuck that. Those fucking bunch of dickheads.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all, all of the others were really nice to talk to, but I know that it's just their guys. But this Englishman, I must get his name because he was very forceful. Doesn't matter whether I had a knife or not.
Yeah, jackboot.
Leading up to me being in handcuffs,
Yeah.
he didn't even give me a chance to say, anything.
Yeah. And
I was going to give him my driver's license.
was it a cop or an MP?
No, he's MP, the military
police. He's got no jurisdiction on the fucking sidewalk.
Exactly.
His authority ends at the boundary line of that fucking military base.
Exactly. So anyway, he sorted me out apparently, and then
he unlawfully fucking detained you.
Yeah. So anyway, the police, a young lady and an Asian man came over and then took it from there. So by that time, they just wanted me out of the handcuffs and gone, basically.
Yeah, because they knew he shouldn't have hemmed them up in the first place. That'll be why. Oh fuck, we've got an MP arresting a fucking private person on a public footpath.
Yeah. So what?
So that's why he can't fucking go. The only thing he can do is like detain you and release you into custody of the police because you've got that offensive weapon. But he couldn't arrest you for having that offensive weapon. That's why he didn't. He didn't have jurisdiction to do that.
Right. I don't think they arrested me. They detained me.
No, yeah, it's catch and release. In England, you'd be arrested, then de-arrested.
Right.
Which is all they do. So the only thing I can think of as far as trespass, they might give you like a dispersal order saying that you're not allowed to be around that area or something, but they would need justified cause. And doing a lawful activity on a sidewalk is the justification for it.
Well, that's exactly what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that I was on a public space, I wasn't in the way, I wasn't impeding any of their investigations or their in and out.
No obstruction, no collusion, do the Trump.
I mean, fuck, they just fucking went the fucking wrong way around it, 100%.
Yep. One tenuous speck of fucking power, and they just go nuts, eh?
Yeah.
Fuck them. As long as you've got your number, file a complaint. The MPs won't do nothing, though. Cops won't do nothing.
Yeah.
Best solution. I mean, if you want me to black out or distort your voice or bog you out, I can, but give it to me, man. I'll stick it up on fucking YouTube. That'll get some response.
I mean, now they've got my plate, they've got my name, they've got my address, they've got my fucking date of birth, they've got fucking everything that they could possibly want on me. And you know what the funniest thing is?
They would have had that the moment they saw your plate number.
Well, I don't think they saw my plate number because of the way I was parked. Because I was perpendicular to them. The funniest thing is, a couple of years ago, I was on Vanilla Pie Bay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there.
And I had knives.
A couple of Sky installs there.
Yeah, I had knives, I had sledgehammers, I had all my fucking tools on site.
Me too. It wasn't a problem. All I had to say was whatever the name of the fucking person I was coming to see, and they just let me through. No check, no nothing.
I mean, it's fuck, dude. Honestly,
no
I have your recording.
I can get on the base and drive a fucking car into a building and say he's got a bomb and shit.
Fuck. Apparently, it's all over stuff. This is what the cops and fucking things are saying. Obviously, they wanted to stuff. There's
stuff.
News outlet on the internet.
Oh, stuff.co.nz. Oh, I'm glad you got it all on film, man.
Well, yeah, film and audio.
Yeah,
up to the point where he found it.
You don't need to look at their ugly mugs. It just shows what they did, and I'm sure you've captured their images anyway before you put the camera away.
Oh, thankfully, I managed to just slip it straight into my pocket without him really realising. He was so fucking hell-bent on fucking putting those cuffs on me, man.
They go power blind, mate. Yeah.
Dude, seriously, he was fucking jittering.
And he had no right
to
turn off your fucking video recorder either. You have a right to keep an independent record.
Yeah. I'm feeling a bit fucking off kilter now, to be honest.
Yeah, no. It's a bit unsettling after fucking being bullied by some other fucker, especially when you've done nothing wrong. So they,
Exactly.
yeah, and pricks like that, whether they're on camera or not, don't care. They just
Nah.
fucking, they do what they want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good to
All right,
follow
mate.
the film. All right, man.
Yeah. I'll come over around 10ish, I think.
Sounds cool.
Not too early,
Yeah.
not too late. And,
It's all good.
I'll show you the footage. And,
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, bro.
All right. Cool, mate.
Have a good night.
Good night. So, yeah.
See you, bro.
Now the civilian police turned up, saw a civilian man in handcuffs on a public street, and immediately ordered Sergeant Skipper to release him. They knew he had done wrong. Now it took me 2 months chasing the New Zealand police to receive his 2 knives back, which were unlawfully seized. The police gave me the 2-month dick around because, we don't know if we're going to charge him for possession of a weapon under the Summary Offences Act or the Crimes Act, which is wrong, because I simply pointed out to them, well, of course you'd be able to do that if you guys had searched him, having the correct jurisdiction to do so. But because Sergeant Skipper unlawfully searched and seized him, comes out with the old under the Defence Regulations 1990, Section 32, Section 33, I can search and detain and obtain your identity, even though my friend had not instigated or given any impression in the 4.5 hours that he was filming from a public sidewalk next to TVNZ reporters and stuff. He had no intention of going on the base. But apparently in Sergeant Skipper's mind, it's not up to Russell what his intention is. That's at his discretion. So, now roll on 3 years. Just before June, my friend was sent an email from a Lieutenant Cade Gathergood. Who is the presenting counsel for the military police officer, and he informs us, and he informs me too, because of course I have authority to act in this matter for my friend. He signed forms and allowed me to help him, mainly because working on film crews, he's impossible to reach. He can't be contacted by phone, especially if they're shooting. So, he just let me deal with it. He had trust in my abilities. So, actually, we'll go back around mid-October, after we'd made an official complaint to the New Zealand Defence Force about Sergeant Skipper's behaviour. They flew 2 military officers from Wellington up here in mid-October to have a meeting with us. For me and my friend, we went on to the airbase and we had over a 2-hour interview with military officers, funnily enough, at Whenuapai Airbase, which we were allowed on. So that kind of negated everything from Sergeant Skipper's idea. They wanted to meet us at the MP's office on the base, which is fine. I personally have been on that base numerous times over my lifetime. I used to do Sky installs and iHug installs on the base for the different people in their different barracks. So I know, even the officers' quarters and the big bloody party area they've got there. I used to be sent there because I was a commercial Sky installer. I used to do the big wig jobs. So yeah, that was interesting. So we had this 2-hour conversation. We had to park before the actual, security gate, and we jumped into their car and they drove us onto the base. Because it was about 8 o'clock at night, it was quite dark. All of that I recorded. So, like I say, roll on 3 years. 3 years afterwards, my friend gets an email 1 week before this supposed disciplinary tribunal or military hearings happening, and asking him if he'd like to come down and be a witness. Now, I don't know about you, but given how his employment was, 3 years later, when we're sitting there thinking, are we ever going to hear back from the military about this matter, he gets told, we'd like you to come down to Linton Military Base to a military tribunal to give evidence. Well, naturally, my friend just passed me all the details, said, mate, Mark, can you deal with this? So I contacted Lieutenant Cade Gathergood, and I sent him everything. All of the raw footage, unedited, that's normally up on YouTube. I still keep all raw footage which is important because you can't supply a YouTube video or an edited video in court. It has to be the raw footage. So we supplied the raw footage along with copies of the interviews from their perspective and mine. And back then, I even got, you know, these wonderful things. His notes made at the time from Sergeant Richard Skipper. Okay, these are the notes made at the time by Sergeant Skipper, and you'll see there's his frickin' card, Sergeant Richard Skipper. And these notes were made, supposedly, you're supposed to make notes at the time of the incident. Any police officer that's pulled anyone over knows straight afterwards you're supposed to pull over and make notes made at the time because they are fresh in your memory. You don't go and make notes made at the time of the incident months afterwards or weeks afterwards because your memory slips. So, and it's considered inadmissible. If I make notes 2 months after an incident that I'm being charged for something, there's no way that would be allowed because it wasn't made at the time. That's why it's called notes made at the time. But no, Sergeant Dickhead Skipper, we'll call him Dick, short for Richard, Sergeant Dick Skipper, turned around and made these notes on the 15th of June, 10 days after the incident. Okay? Now, I got my lovely wife to read this out because I honestly cannot read this fucking chicken scratch writing that he's got, but she could. So I got her to read it out.
2250 10-2 Gate 7 crash unidentifiable word. 2300 arrived at crash Gate 7 unidentifiable word. One male was identified to me by the IC in charge and not cooperating when questioned. He said he was media, then a private citizen. I approached the male and I identified myself as MP. I said, "What's your purpose here, and have you a press pass?" He said, "No, I am a private citizen. I am filming." I said, "Well, this is an exit gate and you have been causing a destruction." He said, "I'm allowed to be here filming." I said, "Can I see some ID?" He said, "What for?" I said, "Explained Defence Registration 32-33. I said, "Can I see some ID?" He said, "No, what for?" 230500. I detained male for purposes of identification plus search due to nature of incident. I placed mechanical restraints on him and detached his belt and camera. I informed him he was being detained for ID plus search. I said, "You have the right to refrain from making a statement and to remain silent. Do you understand this?" He said, "Yes." I said, "You have the right to consult plus instruct a lawyer without delay and in private before deciding to answer questions. Do you understand this?" He said, "Yes." I said, "So you wish to exercise this right?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, as soon as possible." I said, "Anything you say will be recorded and may be given in evidence. Do you understand this?" He said, "Yes." 232500. Commenced search. 2325. Located a Elite Perco fixed blade sheath. Knife 4.5 inches. Photos taken. Strip leg holster attached to his calf. 23 38, box cutter, knife in back pocket, wallet and license, date of birth, address, his phone number, DL, Lorella Harmon, LHAY27, Henderson Police Station, 2335, Civil Police, 10-7.
Now, in this notes, he says that my friend claimed he was media. Did he? You've just seen the video. Did he claim he was media, or did he say, I'm not media? Because there's one lie. Okay, he threatened to put him on the ground, even though my friend was not resisting at all. He's a very peaceful fella. But he is learning the law and learning to stand up for his rights. And this is what happened. Now, most people don't know, but you have 6 years to file a civil claim against anyone that has done you wrong, and you're not getting justice. So, after hearing about this court thing that went on, I believe it was the 2nd of June 2022, some near 3 years after the incident, the military finally got their arse into gear. They went and did this thing. Now, we haven't heard from Cade Gathergood. It is now the 17th of July, like I said, and, you know, it's 6 weeks since the so-called hearing, and we haven't heard anything. But that doesn't mean we haven't heard from our friend Sergeant Skipper. Oh, no. Because another good friend of mine, Kiwi cameraman, who I've met personally and had many a conversation with, was filming Linton Army Base in mid-June, or around the end of June. And who did he run into? Sergeant Dick. Old Dick comes up to fucking my friend Kiwi Freedom and starts doing, I have the power to detain, I can search you, section 32. But luckily, Kiwi Freedom, being an ex-police officer and having success before in prosecuting for unlawful arrest against the New Zealand police and winning over $12,000 in a settlement, is very, very well versed in the law and his rights. And he challenged him, well, you go right ahead. You try that. I'll see you in court. Now that made old Skippy back down. Even though, just like my friend, Kiwi cameraman was standing on a public road. And then he decided to pull him up on an unlawful sign in a public area that gives supposed military ability to search and seize, which was completely unlawful as well, which I hope Kiwi cameraman chases up and gets sorted. Knowing him, he will, because he's a very clever man. So, this is what Sergeant Skipper does.
These guys don't have any jurisdiction outside the base and shouldn't really be talking to civvies.
How are you?
How you going, sir?
Good.
Good, I'm Sergeant Skipper with the military police, and that's Lieutenant Johnson.
Oh yeah. How are you?
How you going doing today, sir? You good?
Good.
Hey sir, just to give you a heads up and fair warning, obviously, you know, what you're doing there, filming inside the camp and everything else like that, what you can see from the public road, no problem at all. Just want to let you know, we don't want you to get hit, so if you can just stay out the road.
I'll let you know that my safety is not your concern.
No. Well, I'm a military policeman, sir.
Hey, my safety is not your concern, alright? I will not obstruct anything. If anything comes, I will move out of the road.
Great,
I can stand out there in the middle of the thing all day.
As long as you don't get hit, sir. As long as you don't, that's all we're worried about.
Hey, I'm 60 plus years of age and I've made it this far. I don't need your advice.
No worries, boss.
Yeah.
Hey, just one other thing, just to inform you, a fair warning. Okay, around section 32 Defence Regs Part 3 1990, it states that we can stop, detain and search any person for the maintenance security about to enter, entering, leaving or about to leave.
I'm in a public place. Try it on.
Sir.
Try it on.
No.
I'll see you.
Listen, that's fine, sir.
Yeah.
Listen to me.
I know where I'm at, mate.
Just to give you fair warning, about to enter. So you're more than welcome here.
I'm in a public place. You don't know my intention.
No, that's fine, sir. You see the yellow sign over there, the fence area?
Yeah.
Just so you know, if you encroach on that, obviously.
Who do I talk to about those signs?
About those signs?
Yeah, because I believe the one you've got down in the village is illegal. Intimidating. Shouldn't be there. It's a public street, public access for sake. Saying that you cannot enter the village and you can be searched in the village.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's a public access way to get through to the walk track, to the police station if I want to make a complaint, and I don't wish to be searched at any time. And yet you're providing the search to happen there. So I'm probably going to go down there later on today, and I'm going to go through there, and if I get searched, I'm going to take a lawsuit and get this matter sorted. So if you want to send somebody out to brief me about it, or to say that sign is definitely legal, because in my opinion it's not.
Okay, so the chance you can walk through there, so the chance of getting searched is pretty literally non-existent. Because we have people go to Kiwi Corner, go to the police station.
It goes through to that new bridge, etc., etc. Because the way it's on there, it's intimidating. That if I'm looking like this, you guys are here talking to me.
Yeah.
That I go down there and I rack you guys up. You're just going to use your powers and search me.
Well, we only search if we've got reason to, sir.
Sorry?
We only search if we've got reason to.
Oh, what would that be?
Well, you're being quite civil to us. You're not swearing. You're not cursing. You're not doing anything.
Oh, I can swear at you all I want. Yeah. Freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's great, sir. I mean, you're not causing any trouble. The only reason we've pulled up is because you know as well as I do, so you're not stupid, that people are going to ring. And also, I want to give you fair warning about...
I'm not going to break any laws today.
No, that's great. And, we don't obviously want you to get hit on the road either.
As I said, I'm old enough and silly enough not to get knocked over.
That's fantastic, sir. Well, you have a good day. Thanks so much for your time.
You too, I would like to speak to somebody in authority who will come out and talk about that sign into the thing, because I think that's illegal to post something like that. It's intimidating a member of the public who doesn't lie. Like I know enough that I can probably take that sign on and win in court, but no other member of the public is going to know that. So it's intimidating for a visitor to one of those houses, or the store, or a sightseer, or somebody going to the track. I don't believe it's right.
And that's your right, sir. You can do that. You can go through probably Defence Press, or you can go through the channels and make a complaint.
So nobody's going to come out and talk to me today?
Probably not, sir.
No.
Probably not. I think we'll have to probably go through the proper channels.
Yeah, no worries. The total accountability of our government,
Well, I mean, that is what, that's your right, so you can go through the proper channels and that's what you want to do, but we just wanted to give
I just wanted to go through the proper channels here. Surely there must be somebody senior enough here to talk about that.
Well, I don't know whether you'll get anybody. You can try.
Yeah, no, they won't want to be on camera.
But yeah, we just wanted to make sure, fair warning, that you understand that about to enter or entering, and I don't want you to get caught out. Like I said, what you're doing here is perfectly legal and lawful. You can video from the public area or anything you can see, but you obviously know as well as I do.
So where are you claiming is the public area?
Well, where you are right now, sir.
So if I walk up to that hedge, is that a public area?
Walk up to that hedge. Well, you can see where the yellow sign is. That's where you're going to be entering the defence area, sir.
So I can walk up to that hedge in line with that hedge.
Absolutely fine to walk up to that hedge. No problem at all. And it's just we just more the safety aspect, don't want to impede or traffic.
I'm not going to get run over. I've got a few years left.
All good. Thank you much for your time anyway. So you
have a good day. Sorry, yours is. Sorry, I just can't see you. I can't see. Oh, Juliet, is it? Juliet 7729 and SK 6866. Cheers.
My name, sir. Anyway.
No worries.
You have a great day.
You too, mate. Have a good one, eh?
Didn't expect that. I was going to stay outside that main fence line, so I'm definitely on public land. But to say I can go forward, so I will.
1 month after a supposed military tribunal pulling him up for not having jurisdiction in public and threatening public people, or at least that's what I'm hoping happened. I haven't heard from Cade. So this is just to let everybody know this hasn't finished. Cade Gathergood hasn't contacted either myself or my friend to let us know what the result was of the hearing, even though Kiwi cameraman's footage shows nothing was learned as far as old Sergeant Skip's concerned, because he's still doing whatever the fuck he wants to do in public. Now, if he wants to swing his dick around in military bases because he's got all this authority, more power to him. But when he's in public, he's got nothing. No power to do fuck all to any civilian person. And I'm hoping he's going to learn this, because if he doesn't, we still have 3 years to file civil proceedings against Sergeant Skipper and the New Zealand Defence Force for unlawful arrest, detainment, doesn't matter, Section 23 of the Bill of Rights states the rights of a person arrested or detained. So he was detained, he was unlawfully searched, brutally searched, to the point where we'll just say he even lost control of his bodily functions slightly because of the way he was treated. Alright, so that all happened. He was unlawfully searched, detained for over 40 minutes. He was sat in a big ass fucking puddle on the ground, so he is soaking wet. And then after 40-50 minutes of detainment, he gets released because the civil police show up and say, get him out of those frickin' handcuffs. So, who did wrong here? My friend is aware that he was very lucky to have been searched by the MP as opposed to a New Zealand police officer, because he'd be looking at possession charges of a weapon. He knows that. But by Sergeant Skipper doing what he did, he also prevented, he caused a miscarriage of justice. He prevented the police from being able to go after my mate for the knives. So he also prevented that. So not only did he breach his human rights, freedom of movement, freedom of association, freedom to seek, receive and impart information and opinions of any kind in any form, Section 14. Now the Bill of Rights, only Section 8, 9 and 10. The right to life, the right to be free from medical experimentation, and the other one eludes me at the moment. But those are the only absolute rights that cannot be limited. All of the other rights listed in the Bill of Rights can be justifiably limited. Okay? But the thing is, if they're going to limit those other rights, they must demonstrably show the justified limitation. There wasn't any. Okay? And that goes for anybody as far as their rights being obstructed. So, you guys make up your own mind. After I put this up, I'm also going to send a link to Lieutenant Cade Gathergood and say, tell me, Lieutenant, why have we heard nothing about what the outcome was? Are you aware that I've been given authority now to seek legal prosecution against the New Zealand Defence Force if something is not sorted? Because of the fact that it's taken so long, because of the fact that you, in your capacity, Cade, gave my friend only a week's time, even though you offered to pay for accommodation, meals, the trip down there and back for him, but not for a support person that wanted to come as well, even though you said you're welcome to bring a support person, but it's on their head. Kind of lucky I can't travel very well at the moment because of my health. But even though all that happened, a week is not enough time, especially for him to try and arrange time off work to get down there. That was piss poor. And I can only assume that such a short time was given because they didn't want him coming down and giving evidence. Because just like anything else, you can put written reports and affidavits and all those sorts of jazz, but evidence is taken at the hearing. There is no evidence before the hearing. That's just statements, affidavits, all that sort of jazz. It's not considered evidence until the hearing is being happening. As old Selwyn Hayworth, head Justice of the Peace of the Auckland JP Federation, he said to me once, doesn't matter what you've done before the hearing, until those doors are closed and you're in the stand, that's when I accept evidence. Alright? So, I hope Selwyn's doing well, and I just hope COVID didn't kill him. So, yeah, we're going to see what happens, because my next thing is drafting up papers, notice of proceedings, statement of claim, and affidavit with supporting evidence for a civil suit to file against New Zealand Defence Force and Sergeant Richard Skipper, because this needs to be sorted. Anyway, guys, I've babbled enough. I'm going to show you all of the evidence, all of the video footage that supports everything I'm saying, and you guys can make up your own decisions. I'd like to know in the comments from everybody out there that follows my channel and has been following this for 3 odd years, what should we do? Should we go ahead and file civil proceedings and in remedy seek criminal prosecution, you know, as redress? Perhaps that can be a remedy asked for in the civil claim, to seek criminal prosecution against the New Zealand Defence Force and Sergeant Richard Skipper for what they did to my friend without any justification or jurisdiction to do so. How fucking dare they? I went back 4 days after my friend was arrested. They did nothing, because, I don't know, perhaps I'm more well known. When I walk around with 5 or 6 cameras pointing in every different direction, they tend to stay the fuck away. But my friend, the way he was treated was disgusting, and I won't stop fighting for him, and I'm sure he appreciates that. Alright guys, much love to you. You tell me what you think. Please leave a comment. Tell me if you think we should go ahead and prosecute these sons of bitches, because my friend needs justice. And 3 years and a month plus afterwards, he's still got nothing. I mean, we were amazed we even got contacted in June this year asking for him to come down and give evidence. We thought, oh, New Zealand Defence Force are going to keep doing nothing, and we were still contemplating whether we should file civil proceedings against them. Then this happens. Gave us a modicum of hope that perhaps that he's going to learn, and then he goes and does what he does to Kiwi freedom. So we haven't learnt. Oh, I so wish, no offence to my friend Kiwi, but I so wish that he had tried that shit like he had done to my other friend. I wish he'd done that to Kiwi, because Kiwi's a lot more versed and knows exactly how to win, as he's already proven. Alright, so guys, much love, keep cool to after school, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Please let me know what you guys think. See ya.